welcome Tammy from Tammy's Homesteading Crafts. Today we are in the corner of my office where I like to do my knitting podcast. It has been close to 4 weeks since we have podcasted last for a knit podcast. We got a lot of stuff to go over. We've got a bunch of new bags. We've got some finished objects. We've got quite a bit of progress on our knits, and then we have, of course, some acquisitions. So if you guys are interested in any of that, grab your beverage of choice and stick around. Before we get started, I just want to welcome all of you to my channel. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, liking, subscribing, and commenting on my videos. I really appreciate all of you who have done that and have stuck with me from the beginning. Thank you so much for the support that you are giving me. I really appreciate all of you. Also, for those of you who this might be the very first video you're watching, I hope you enjoy the content and consider subscribing. It does not cost you anything to subscribe to a YouTuber's channel. And if you hit the notification and ring the bell, it will give you a notification when ringing the bell will give you the notification for when a new video when I put out a new video, so you guys know when there is a new video out to watch. So thank you guys all for who have subscribed, and for you new subscribers that I keep getting, thank you, and I hope you enjoy, guys, and really enjoy the content. Okay, let's get into our podcast. Okay, so with our knitting podcast, we usually will go over the update to the website. So those of you who are new, I say we, it's only me here doing all of this. We have a website called tammyshomesteadingcrafts.com. I will put the website down below so you guys can check out all of the products that I have on my website. I make bags for knitters, crocheters, sewers, crafters of all kinds, just bags. And then I also sell other things on my website as well as yarn koozies, stitch stoppers, and some stitch markers. You know, a few other little things that will go with knitting and crocheting, as well as the bag. So for those of you who have not looked at my website, check it out. If you guys have not subscribed to the email on the website, consider doing that as well. I do send out emails to just people who are not online, that don't follow me on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, any of those. I also have all of those links down below as well. But for those of you who want discounts, I will send discounts periodically just to my email subscribers, so you can have a chance of getting a discount off of a purchase on the website. So consider subscribing to the email. It's on the bottom of the first page that you can subscribe to the email, and you will get notifications when I send emails out. I don't send a lot of emails out, so don't expect, I know a lot of people don't like to subscribe to emails because they tend to overpower you with notifications and stuff like that, and I don't send out hardly any notifications, and I've got a lot of my auto ones turned off. The website likes to have you set up auto ones, so like if you go to the website the first time and you leave something in your cart, it will send you a notification that, hey, you left this in your cart, but it will not keep sending you a notification multiple times. It sends it one time and that's it. I'm trying to get it so that it doesn't overpower people with emails, because I know I don't like it and I don't want to do that to other people. I want to be able to have people get emails when I'm doing a sale or something like that, so that you guys can, actually get an email and not just go, oh, it's another junk email, and throw it away. Okay, so let's get into showing the bags that we have made. We've got a couple of different kinds of bags. The next trunk show that I'm doing wanted some different kinds of bags. She wanted some more knit related bags, and I was going through my stash. Dropped stuff. I was going through my stash and I found some things that I didn't really know I had still in my stash. So I started making those up. these have always been very popular, and it is the knitting chickens. It's always been a very popular bag. This is a medium drawstring. Of course, has a nice wide bottom. A medium bag will hold easily 3 skeins of yarn in your project. A nice size bag for a shawl, a 2 skein sweater project, because it'll hold the 3 skeins easily down there on the bottom of it. And then you've got the drawstring to hold your project in the top of it. But we have these in the shop. I've got 3 of these. I don't know how many will be left in the shop. Like I said, I'm going to, ship what I have. This one actually has the yellow on the inside, so it's got red on the outside, yellow on the inside. This one has the red fence, and then of course the red fence on the inside of that. And then I have one with the yellow fence, and then it's got the yellow fence on the inside of that. And these are all mediums, drawstrings. I was able to get some notions pouches made to go with them. So this one, the chickens, and then of course the yellow. I got the chickens, and then this has got the red chicken wire on the top, and then yellow on the inside. And then we've got 2 that have got the chicken on the back, and then the red fence on the inside, chicken wire fence on the inside. So I got 4 of those in the shop. Those always go relatively fast. So what I don't have on the website, or what I don't ship out, because I'm shipping out, I didn't say, today is June 9th, and I'll be shipping out for my trunk show on Wednesday. For next Wednesday it starts, and I'll talk about that when we get into the life section, or where you can find me section. So what I don't ship, I will put into the website, so they will be available then. And as I was going through looking for knit related bags, I found that I had a little bit of the yarn ball, the sheep yarn balls, and I was able to get some of those, just solid full ones. I have the chevron on the drawstring, and then I just put a red checked on the inside that I had. And I have 3 of the same, they're exactly the same. So I have 3 of these medium drawstring bags available. Like I said, these will not all go to them. Actually I have 4 of them. So they will not all go to her. So some of those will be on the website. I was able to get 4 notions pouches, exactly the same. So on the back is the chevron. On the top you have your red, and then on the inside you have the sheep. So I was able to get 4 of these for the website as well. For those of you who like to purchase a matching set, there is 4 of those as well. Okay, so the next thing that I have, let's try to get these organized a little bit here. I have so much going on. Okay. The place that I'm sending to wanted window bags. She was all about getting the window bags. She really liked the look of those. When I sent her information, she wanted the window bags. And I found peaches, and I thought peaches in a basket. So we've got the peaches on the top. You can see them inside, basket material top, and then also on the back of it. This is a medium drawstring. So it's a medium drawstring with peaches on it. And then for those that don't like the window bags, I was able to get 1 medium peach bag. I did black on the top because the behind the peaches is black, but then I paired it with a beige on the inside just because I wanted something lighter on the inside so that you could see see your project inside there. When you line it with black or dark blue or brown, it's really hard to see what is even dark purple is hard to see what is inside your bag. So I try to do light if I can. This is a medium drawstring. And then I was able to get 2 small drawstrings. Same black here, tan on the inside. Hopefully you guys don't hear this. It's very dark in here. I have my lights going, and it just started pouring outside. So hopefully you guys don't hear any of that going on out there. But hopefully it doesn't get too bad. But I got 2 of those for in the shop. And then I was able to get 4 Notions pouches. So the top and the back is basket weave, and then peaches on the inside of that. And I was able to get 4 of those for the website as well. Okay, so the next thing that I ended up getting was we did limes in a basket. I found limes and I thought those looked really cute. So we did those in a basket. Got the lime on the inside up here. A little bit of a different basket weave that I had. Basket on the back. And this is a medium drawstring window bag. I was able to get, again, a medium drawstring. This I did pair with a darker brown. I didn't have anything that really looked nice on the inside. And I wasn't super thrilled with it because I didn't want that dark of a color, but I just didn't have anything that looked good on the inside that wasn't dark. So I put the brown on there. I mean, it looks okay. It's just darker than I like to use. But the beige on the inside just didn't look right. It made it look funny. I didn't like it. This brown that I'm using is kind of what the color of the limes on the skin there, the brown part. That's kind of why I picked it up. But I was able to get 2 small drawstrings as well out of that. Again, the same interior size, or same interior look. So I got 2 of those. And I was only able to get 2 Notions pouches out of these. It's really funny. I buy a yard of material and it just depends on what I'm able to get out of it, the way it's cut and the way I'm able to use things. I was only able to get 2 Notions pouches out of these. So again, the back is the basket weave, on the top is the basket weave, and then you have your limes on the inside. I think that was okay. And then, oops, sorry, I keep knocking the camera. Were you okay? Okay. The next thing was I was able to get 2 sunflowers, baskets of sunflowers, out of one of the material that I got there. Sunflowers on the top of the gusset, and then sunflowers inside. And then of course this is a different basket weave. It's a darker one as well. All of the drawstring, all of the bags have a key ring on the inside to be able to hold stitch markers, progress keepers, keys if you guys want to, if you want to put your keys on there, whatever, they hold that. But I was able to get 2 of these ones to have in the shop. And I was able to get 2 Notions pouches for these as well. So again, the basket weave on the back, on the top, and then sunflowers on the inside. Okay, let's see. I guess we'll do these ones. That might be my mail. Oh no, my dog is coming up. Rum, stay. Lay down. Lay down. I have so many cameras around, she can't get by without tipping something over. So I don't want anything to go crash. Okay, so now we have our flowers in a basket. So I was able to find this really cute flower material, very bright, and I thought, well, that would be flowers in a basket. I thought that would be really cute. So I ended up getting 2 mediums of these as well. And again, different fabric for the basket weave. I had a couple of different kinds. It just was, you know, nice to be able to use it. But I was able to get 2 of those, 2 medium drawstring window bags. And again, 2 notions pouches for those as well. Okay. Then we got some shells in a basket. So I got this shell material a while ago and I loved it, but I'm really picky when I go to put, I don't like putting really, really light fabric on the outside of a bag if I don't have to, because it just, you know, they get dirty quick. Not that these cannot be washed and line dried. They can absolutely be they're washable. Because 100% cotton, it can wash. It just, you know, you don't think about washing your knit bag. I mean, you can, absolutely. But I know I've never washed any of mine. You know, I just set them on, I usually try not to set them on the floor. When I'm out places, I try to put them in my lap, or I have a purse hanger that I can hang them from the table. I try to do that as much as I possibly can instead of just setting them on the ground. But I was able to get a medium drawstring, and, you know, with the basket fabric. And then I was able to get actually a small window bag with that as well. And then 2 notions pouches for those. Okay, last update for the shop. Okay, I've had this a couple of times before. A lot of people like it. It's just a lighthouse with anchor material, and I ended up putting the lighthouse in the window and also on the back of it. So it's lighthouses on both sides, so you can see it from either side, because there wasn't like anything in a basket, anything like that. So I just thought that looked really cute. I got 2 mediums of these for the shop, or to put out. And then I ended up getting 5 notions pouches. So there's quite a few of these for those who like the beach scene lighthouses. Each one is a little bit different of what lighthouse is inside there, but most every one of them has a lighthouse of some sort inside the inside bag has got lighthouses. So that is all for the update to the website. That's a lot, guys. These will be live by the time this airs. This will air the 15th. So anything that is left that I didn't pack up this week will get put on the website, and then so they will be live by the time this airs on the 15th. Okay, so let's talk about our knitted projects. Okay, so our finished projects. I'm going to put pictures up, most likely over here on this side. I did get my baby sweaters done. They were gifted the other day, but I did take pictures of them. I got both baby sweaters done, buttons put on them, and I got little hats for both of them. So I got 4 projects done. The hats were never on a podcast. When I finished the sweaters, which I think I finished the sweaters pretty close to like the end of that week, probably the day that that podcast aired, I finished my sweaters, and then I was able to work on the hats. The hats didn't take me that long to do. I was able to get them done both within a couple of days. I think I started the one hat on a Tuesday, and by Saturday I had both hats completely done, or Sunday. They took me less than a week to do both hats. So those were both done, ready, washed, blocked, ready to go to their new home, and they went on Saturday, the 7th, to their new home. They absolutely love them, and I was really thrilled that they were happy with them. So those are, like I said, I've got pictures of each one singly, so I'll run the pictures up on the screen for a little bit so you guys can see each one of them that got done. The next thing I got done was my grid gambit, and I got this done. Actually, how does it? I guess it goes this way. This is the way it goes because these ends here get sewn together. But my grid gambit is done. I have not blocked it, washed it, blocked it, or anything, so I've got to do that today. I try to do it when it's a warm day outside so that I don't have to worry about it taking too long to dry. It's a rainy day out today, but we'll see. Hopefully I will get it blocked and get it sewn together so that I can wear it. It's not going to be real big, which I'm okay with. It's not nearly as big as what the shift is. And I used fingering weight on this. Instead of my shift, I used sport. And then when I made the other shift, I held 2 skeins of fingering together to make a DK weight. So it was just quite a bit bigger. This is not going to be all that big. I'll stretch it a little bit because it's got a little bit of give, but I'm okay with it not being huge. I would like it. It's summer colors, so to me it's kind of, you know, a nice one to put on if I need something in the middle of the summer. So that's where I'm at with that. Got that done. We'll get that stitched together, and we will have our grid gambit to wear, and we'll get it blocked and stitched together. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to talk about, I hadn't started it as of the last podcast. I kept talking about it. It was ready. I had the stuff caked, but I had not done anything with it. And that was dealing with one of my sock tubes. I did separate, and I got a pair of socks. I really enjoyed doing it. When I first started, I will admit, it wasn't hard. Let me pull a sock tube here and explain. This orange is just waste yarn that Tammy used when she started to cast on. So they will start, they'll wrap this yarn around, and they will start knitting the machine with waste yarn, and then once they get a little bit into the waste yarn, they will they'll add in your actual sock. So you have some waste here that you're able to pick up your stitches, and you have it on both ends of your sock tube, and then you cut your tube in half. This tube, I decided I was going to start with this because it was DK weight yarn, and I thought it would be a little bit easier to see the stitches than fingering weight as far as picking up. And the top wasn't bad to pick up and grab those. Not bad at all. Pretty easy, actually, from the waste yarn that she had, because there was definitely, it was white on green or blue or even black. So it was definitely easy to see the waste yarn, where to pick up with the waste yarn. You could get a full straight line, and I did that. And I've got some pictures, and I'll probably put those in here showing how I figured out my half, and I got my needles in there, and I used those flexi flips that I bought, and they worked fine for picking up the top. But when it got time to separate the tube to suit 2 socks, because this was connected together like this in one long tube, when I had to separate these 2 out so that I could do, or maybe it was like this, that I could do another toe and a cuff, when I separated it, I didn't get them in the same line. The one was fine, when I cut the one half, I did get in the same line. I only had one end, which is what you should have because you pull out one side. Well, the next one I had 3 ends. When I pulled out, I ended up having 3 ends, which was okay. I had a couple of extra stitches leeway on that one. That was a little bit longer of a tube, so I didn't really have to worry too much. I took out another row and was able to pick up. The black was really, really hard for me to pick stitches out of, and it was split right in the middle of a black line. And then, of course, my heel was cut, of course, in the middle of a black line, and I was kind of hoping it wasn't going to be. I was kind of hoping it would be at the beginning, you know, maybe one black, one colored. No, they were both black on both of them, right in the middle of the black, which is okay. I figured it out. I sat outside. I watched a whole bunch of videos, different people's YouTube videos on a couple of them for dividing, and I'll put those links down below the videos that I had. One video, she went through cranking a tube, how to crank a tube, how to divide it and figure out how to divide it between 4 socks. And then another one I watched gave you measurements if you were making these for somebody else to kind of figure out how long you needed your foot. Just giving you measurements and a printout and everything. So I'll give you the link for those 2 videos that I used. And, you know, there was a bunch of them that I watched and looked at, and just to get my information. And I did all this way before I even started cutting. And then, you know, watching the videos. But as I was trying to figure out these socks, I put the sock on after I had it cut in half and I had my cuff done, and I just slid it on. Well, it was huge on my foot. So I ended up I was like, well, these are going to be a men's sock. So I ended up making them for a friend of mine. And so he's got a pair of DK weight socks that he will get gifted here soon. I was able to figure out and cut in for my heel. Now, when I did my heel, one of the places said that it's best for her. She has an easier time when she does, for her afterthought heel, when she picks up her stitches magic loop. Because once you pick up your stitches, because you're picking up only half of the stitches, so you're only picking up, you know, this side of the stitches, 32, but you're picking them up a row apart. Well, when you have your needle in there, that takes up a lot of space. What she said was put your needle in, pull the cord, and then take the other needle and put it through in the thin above. When you do that, the cord takes up a lot less space, and you're able to have room to slide your needle in, and it's not so hard to find your stitches. So my heels weren't as bad to pick up when I watched and found that other video, and that's how they told you to do it. And a long time ago, I had bought, for my interchangeable set, I had found 1.5 interchangeable needles, and I bought the cords. Well, I didn't realize that the needles were micro cords, that I needed micro cords for them. They were the really skinny ends. And so I had those micro cords in a long length to be able to do magic loop with my, for my socks on interchangeable cords. So that made it really, really easy when I decided to split for my heels. My husband's foot is about the same size as the guy that I'm giving these to. So my husband tried them on and he said they fit really good. I had never done an afterthought heel, and I think they turned out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. The toe, I mean, a toe is a toe on a sock. And then the cuff, normally I don't do a 2-inch cuff or almost a 2-inch cuff. Usually I do just a 3/4, but it looked really funny. It kind of stuck out. So the one picture that I have, I'll show you, the cuff was done and it was just kind of wide at the top. It didn't look like it was going to go narrow to the leg or anything, and it didn't really have much give. So I took it out and I ended up making it a little bit longer so that they would fit a little bit better. But I did know I do need to do Jenny's super stretchy bind off, I think is what it's called, for the toe, because it just makes it, or for the cuff, it just makes it that much stretchier, and it kind of ruffles a little bit, and it doesn't look bad for the top. So that's what I ended up doing when I took it out and redid the top of that. But other than that, really, I wasn't sure. I'll be very, very honest. I was not sure I was going to do any more because I was getting a little bit frustrated with the black yarn and how to do this. But now that I've done one and I've got the process in my head, it's really not that hard. I think I was more scared to cut my knit than anything. And like I said, when you're watching videos, you've got to watch multiple different videos to find out who is the video that connects with you. Not everybody puts a video out that you can understand, that you can watch. So yeah, like I said, I watched a ton of different videos to get the information on how to do it. And, you know, a lot of them just talked about the afterthought heel, which I was scared about that. But I had never cut a sock tube, you know, and like these sock tubes, this is double the length. I mean, we still have, this is only half of it. I'm going to be able to cut this in 4s to get shorty socks out of this. And that's what I'm going to be able to do with all of these that I have. So I'll easily be able to get 4 sets of socks out of this. So this start out is going to have to get cut in half. So I'll have open ends on both ends of these, and then the tube gets cut in half again to be able to make shorty socks. For me, I don't have that big of a foot. I can always do a longer cuff if I need, you know, if I need more. And I'll look at the pattern. They tell you how long you need your sock tube to be. The one that I looked at that was how to crank a sock and how to cut and make a sock from a sock tube. It gave you the whole thing. I mean, she did fast forward some things, but she didn't fast forward important information. She put that out and she walked you step by step on how to do that. So that was really, really good. And I'll probably watch that one to see what she says you need for the length of a tube. You know, she gives you measurements. If your foot is this size, you need this much, you know, and you need to cut your tube this long. So I'll look at that before I cut my tube in half, but I have a feeling I'm going to be able to do, my sock tubes I'll be able to get 2 full pairs of socks, shorties, out of each one of these tubes, which I'm excited to because I can add different colors on those and just do all kinds of different things with them. So I'm really kind of excited about that, to be able to do those. But I've got another one ready in the bag. The yarn's caked up and getting ready to, when I feel like sitting down to split a sock tube, that's my next project to do. You know, I've got another sock in there, and it's just gonna, you know, it'll work itself out. But those are all of my finished objects. I've got 6. So, you know, we can go to our book and we can cross off how many skeins, and we'll do that, how many skeins of yarn we've used. And of course, there's a lot of yarn left over from my grid gambit that I will be able to make a hat, and I'll get that cast on. That's a real quick project. I'll get that cast on, and then I'm sure there'll probably be enough left to be able to make myself a pair of socks. And I'll cast those on as a pair of socks because my goal is to use almost all of my yarn that I cake up so that I don't have bags and bags of partially used yarn, unless it is a solid color that I know I could use for, you know, in something else. But, you know, I'm looking for being able to try to get rid of as much of the yarn that I can to use up a full skein of yarn. Okay, so that is it for all of our finished objects. Let's talk about our whips, because we have a lot of them. And I mean a lot of them. Okay, I'm going to go off screen for a minute to grab them. Okay, so I guess the thing I've had on the needles the longest is going to be my poncho. I think everything else that was on the needles has been finished. Yeah, I think this is the longest thing on the needles that I have. It's getting there. It's just, you know, I mean, there's 5 full skeins of yarn in this. It's just going to take some time. This is where I was last time. I got 2 inches maybe. While I'm thinking of it, I'm going to move it. I've been taking this to knit groups with me, so once we're inside, I can just do it when I'm inside. It's cool. It's not something I can sit out on the front porch and do, because it's sitting on my lap and it gets, you know, we're starting to get hopefully some warmer weather here soon, and we can, I'm not going to want this here on my lap. But yeah, it's coming along. I would like to have it finished by the end of August, September, so that I can wear it in the fall. That's my plan. But that is the first project that I've had on the needles the longest. I don't know. I think these other projects have been all about the same time, so I guess I'll just start with one. This one's in front of me. These are my socks that are left over from the shawl that I did for the Bay Area Yarn Crawl, the cowl that I did for the Bay Area Yarn Crawl. This was left over from those. I, of course, ran out. I did a hat. We all know I did the hat. This was what was left over. I ran out of the main color, and now I'm just on solid for the rest of the foot, which is okay, which means I was able to use 1 full complete skein of that. And I'm going to still have some orange left for possibly a pop of color on a pair of socks. I have a couple of different sock tubes that I could use the orange with. So I'm not too worried about that I'll be able to use the orange on that and on any other sock that I want to do. A solid color is not a bad color to have a little bit left of it, because I can just put a pop of color on the top of it and go into my leg. But yeah, last time I podcasted, I was in the middle of the gussets after I turned the heel. I was in the middle of the gusset stitches. So now I'm just easy, not thinking, knit in the round to get to my foot length. I don't have a whole lot. This doesn't usually take me too long. Usually I think about it, I'm like, oh, I better measure. I'm to where I need to be to start decreasing. So then I won't be changing my yarn, so it'll all be in orange for the rest of this, so it won't be too bad. But yeah, so we got those going. The next one, and I think I started these about the same time, another pair of socks. And these are my self-striping socks that I had. I got this yarn from down in, when I was at the Steel City Yarn Crawl, one of the stores that I had down there. This was their colorway that they had for the yarn crawl. I did do a pop of color, a contrast for the top of it. Oh, maybe down here. I did do color there. I did not change the color for the heel. I kept the heel in the same from the sock tube and just knit it out. Each heel is a little bit different because I didn't quite get them separated exactly the same. I thought I did, but it was a little off, which is okay. I'm okay with it not being exact. It's close. But again, I was in the gusset stages of decreasing, and I'm now just on my foot and easy knit in the round. This is my socks that I keep in my office. When I have meetings, I just work on them then. So these ones will probably take a little bit longer to do because I have to be in a meeting to be able to work on them. Or I'll get to the point that I want them done, and then I will just finish them up. Okay, I guess we'll talk about my Musselboro hat. I know that's been on the needles. That might have been on the needles when I went to Tennessee. I can't really remember. Not too far. I got, again, maybe 3 inches on this one. So, well, just going along at it. This is one of those, it doesn't need to be finished till the fall. So I'm not, I just work on it when I feel like a mindless knit. If I, now that I have my socks at a mindless knit, it's not too big of a deal. But yeah, so we have those. And I should talk about my yarn. I always forget to do that. The yarn in this one is, the goldy color is a smooshy cashmere from Dream in Color. And then the gray is a gray from Yarn Loving Lady Lisa. I found her on Instagram. No, not on Instagram. Etsy. She's got a shop on Etsy is where I found her yarn. I got quite a bit of her yarn there for a while. Okay, I guess we'll talk about my sweater, because I think this might have been the next thing that I had on the needles. This is, we got a lot done on this. We were all the way down here last time and that was in the round, and now we are separated for front and back to be able to work on getting the front and the back of our sweater done. So I'm working on, I think, the back of it right now. I think this is the back. But I got about 1 inch after I separated, 1.5 inches to work back and forth. So we're working on that. We will, it's just this is just, it's a knit one way, purl back, knit, purl. So yeah, hopefully this one won't take too long and I'll be able to get this done relatively quickly here. But yeah, this yarn I got when I was in Tennessee at Loopville. I'd never heard of the brand of yarn before. And it's just color 1204. Yeah, so I had never heard of that. I had only seen it when I was in the South, so I don't know if it's something that it's down there, or I don't know. I had never seen that yarn before, but I got 4 skeins of it. So I got 2 here to do this sweater. I just got into the other skein just about 1 inch before I separated for sleeves. So I'm going to have plenty of yarn left. I mean, I still have that much left. I still have to do the rest of the front and then the back, and then do a cuff on the arms, because it's kind of like a sleeveless. I think it might just have an I-cord, so I'll pick up and do my I-cord around the sleeves. But yeah, it seems like a very easy sweater. It's from Casapinka, and it's their Birdwatch sweater. And of course, all of these patterns will be linked below, so you guys can look and check out the patterns, whether they're a free pattern or a purchase pattern. It'll take you right to the link in Ravelry where you can purchase the pattern yourself, or download it if it's a free pattern. Okay, that's there. I guess maybe next we will do this one. This is Your Slip is Showing, also by Casapinka. I've got quite a bit done on this. Where was I? I was right here, and I got all this done. So I got quite a bit done on this since I podcasted last. I'm now done with the dark purple, and now I've got my color D that I'll carry and go with all of the other colors around. There's going to be a lot left, I think. It's not going to be as big as I thought it was going to be. But my purple is from Kimber of Kimber's Cozy Creations, and it was one of her one of my monthly colorways of A Year in Color. And then I have this pink color that I'm using, and this is just from Hobby Lobby. I think it's Hobby Lobby. No, this is Yarn Citizen. Jimmy Bean, I believe that is their yarn. This is that cheaper wool that they have, and it's made of 100% wool, but it's got a lot of different wools in it. So this I got from there, like $10 a skein for this brand of yarn. And it's actually pretty soft and squishy for, you know, it just doesn't tell you how much of each wool they have in there. There is just wool in there, and it doesn't specify what kind or how much. You could have a little or a lot of something. My one colorway here, this one is from Cornbread Honey, and it is one of my monthly Patreons. It was June 2024 monthly Patreon that I got, and it's got specks of, that's my number of what number it is for the pattern, blues, pinks, so a lot of little pastel colors. I like it. It was a very pretty color. I wasn't so sure I was happy with putting it in with all of these. It does look really pretty. I am liking it, the way the pattern is moving out. And then, of course, this one is, again, from Loving Lady Lisa. Yarn Loving Lady Lisa, I guess it is. And what color, what's the colorway? This is Butterfly in Sky colorway. So, and Yarn Loving Lady Lisa. This was her colorway. This one here. So, and then of course Cornbread Honey is always linked below because she is my local yarn store. Local to me because we do not have a local yarn store in our area. She's an hour from me. So I consider her my local yarn store. And she is always linked below for yarn and information. But yeah, let me move my little squirrel up. It's marking the front. It was marking the front when I first began, but now it's marking my progress. Okay, so I got that mark. I think I've moved everything so far. Okay, the last, no, I got a couple more. The next one, and I don't, like I said, I know this one was on the needles before the last one. This is by Casapinka, All Points South. And I was right here when we podcasted last, so I hadn't done the lace section. So we're just in a bit of a repeat section here, but put that little marker in there so I know where I'm at. And this yarn, these bottom two, the light peach and the darker peach, are from Long Meadow Wool Farms. And then, of course, this brown coppery color is my December Patreon color from Cornbread and Honey. Yeah, just trying to get... But I'm liking the way it's turning out. It's got so much, that coppery one has got so many different colors in there. They just kind of stand out a little bit there. But yeah, we're just working, just plugging along at it, just doing a couple of repeats as we can. Try to get some progress done on each one of them. I didn't get, I mean, I got quite a bit of progress because I hadn't started the lace, so I guess I did get quite a bit of progress on this one since I podcasted last. Some of the patterns are pretty easy remember repeats, so I don't have to get my book out every time I go sit outside. I can just, or I have my tablet there and I can just start knitting and go from there. Okay, the last one that I'm going to talk about, the one I had last podcast was, let me look it up in my tablet here so that I can see what the name of that shawl was, because I frogged that shawl and I might not even have it in here because I probably deleted it. I don't even have it in here. I deleted it out because I didn't even want to pull it up and be in the midst of something. But I had that triangle yellow cowl that I was making for my friend, and I had him come over and look at it because I wanted to make sure that he liked it. I was not thrilled with the way it was knitting out. It just did not look right to me, and I didn't want to do any more on it. And of course he came over a day or two after I podcasted. He's like, yeah, I'm not thrilled with it. So I ripped it out and I cast on another project. And this is what I've cast on. He likes the colors that we had. We just, neither one of us really liked the pattern that it was knitting out as. So I'm doing this one with some like shell stitches, butterfly stitches, eyelash stitches. They call them all kinds of different things. But yeah, just trying. The pattern itself didn't have a pattern of when you put these in. It was, the pattern was designed from a planned pooling skein of yarn. It just said when you get to the color, do your eyelash stitch. Then go on to knitting. When you get to the color, do the eyelash stitch. So it just was not a specific pattern. So I kind of had to make up my own on this. Tentatively following the pattern that I picked, but making up my own for how often I do the eyelash shell or whatever you want to call those yellow stitches there. But this is what we've got going right now. We are on our decrease. It is going to be a bandana shaped cowl once I'm done, and I will be able to stitch it here on the side, and it points down in front of you. And of course, once we get this made, we will be making him a hat to match it because that's what he wanted, a little beanie type hat. This yarn is, this is from Hedgehog Fiber, and it is their Phoenix, I believe from Harry Potter Phoenix is what they are considering that one. And then of course my yellow is from Kimber, and it is one, Kimber's Cozy Creation. It is one of her Year in Color monthly colorways that we got. And that is all of my projects, all of my whips that I have. I think I talked about them all. There was quite a few of them there. The next thing I've got, I said I had a sock tube ready to cast on, so I've got this sock tube ready to, I'm gonna cut this one and figure this out for doing socks. I have this bright yellow left, and it's another one of the solid yellows that we got from Kimber. I had this much left, and I figure this will do heels, toes, cuffs. I could even put orange if I have some of the orange left there. Any one of them. I've got this little bit of lime green that I'm going to put on for, well, that didn't work out good. But this lime green that I'm going to put in there as well. I might have to recake that up. We'll see. But yeah, so I've got this in the bag here ready to when I feel the urge to start doing another sock tube. Probably the first thing I'll do is pick up my stitches, because here, well, they come out really easy. As you can see, I just pulled a whole bunch out. But it's really easy to see your stitches from the two colors and pick up and get your stitches right away. It doesn't have a full stitch on this side, so I'll go one, I'll start on this side to pick up, and then when I get over here, I'll be one below that line, because that one will be kind of like waste yarn, which is okay. But yeah, that's where we have, but yeah, I mean, now that I know what I'm looking for and how to pick up, it is a lot easier once you've done it once to do it a second time. So I'm not nearly as scared to do it the second time as I was the very first time. But that is in a bag ready to go when I get the urge to do that. Okay, so let's get into our acquisitions, because we have, we have some. Of course we have some. So let's get them, and we will show you those. Okay, with our acquisitions, I get a monthly colorway from Cornbread Honey, and her April Patreon is this color here. It's got a lot of muted colors in it. It's just not as vibrant as most of the yarns that I pick, but it is very pretty. The last yarn that I had that was very muted, I absolutely loved it. It was the yarn, the Helping Hands, that I made my fingering weight cardigan with, and I absolutely loved it once I caked it up and started using it. It was so pretty. And then the next one is May, and this is purple, blue with yellow. It almost looks like violets, where you could have violets in it. This is my May colorway. So I've got those two. So I have those two new colors. Of course, I didn't get any of the, I don't have my June one yet, and I won't have July for a little bit. Okay, then I ordered from Rainbow and Sprinkles. Now they're an Australian-based yarn, and they had a sale going on, and I thought, you know what? I absolutely love some of the colors that they put out, and I thought, I want some of these. So this is on their luxurious sock base. It is 4-ply, 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon. This is called A Little Zesty, and these are very bright. This is very bright. I am looking forward to doing something with this. Hopefully I can possibly do a t-shirt, a tank top, something, a sweater, and maybe put a different color for a collar or the cuffs of a sleeve. I don't know. I've got some other colors here that I could easily put with it. We'll see. That is one of the colors I got. The other color I got is this one. And this is Beauty Queen. And again, it's a 4-ply, 85 superwash, 15 nylon, 400 grams, or 400 milliliters, 100 grams. And this is so squishy. but this is a bright, like a fluorescent pink, orange, purple. Yeah, I can't wait to do something with this. Again, I really would love to have a cowl, maybe a shirt. I don't know. I haven't decided what I want to do with it. And then, of course, you know, the shipping was a little high, but she was having a really good sale, and the shipping was going to be the same whether I ordered 2 skeins, 4 skeins, 6 skeins, 8 skeins. So I thought, well, you know what, for that price, I'll get a couple more. So I ended up getting this one, and this is Amplify Coast. I believe that's the name of it. And again, they're luxurious sock base. This is a more of a muted pink, purple, and blue with splashes of or specks of a hot pink. Yeah, really pretty. Love this color as well. Don't know what I'm going to do with any of them, but you know, I'm trying to get enough, not enough yarn, but when I buy yarn, I try to buy it for to get enough for a sweater or something for me. So in that pack that I got from them, they gave me a bunch of stitch markers. So they have this little heart, which is really cute. I have this heart that says hug me. A little mushroom. I have a sunflower. And then a piece of white chocolate. So these all came with my yarn. And did I get? I might have gotten. Maybe I didn't. Thought maybe I had gotten a little button, but maybe I didn't. I usually leave it right here and I don't see one. The other thing that I ended up buying, when I posted my last podcast, the girl that cranked my tubes for me reached out to me and she said, hey, I use, when I go to separate for my, when I separate my sock tubes, I use these. And she sent me a picture of what she uses. So I ordered a couple of them. She said you'd need 2. And this is a little needle with a cord and a stopper on the end of it. So when you go to pick up your sock tubes, you can leave this on the sock tube that you're not going to be knitting on when you separated them in half. And also this nylon cord would not hold a lot of space, so you would have easily be able to pick up the next row and to split them. So I got a couple of these. I did not try them on my tube when I first did the one I did. I just wanted to try it with what I got. Probably the next one I will try this because I've got to leave the one tube with on a needle, and this is just a needle holder. This is a stitch holder. So I'd be able to leave this in there, and then it's got a little bit of a blunt needle to be able to stitch them back onto magic loop or whatever, however I want to stitch them off of, to be able to do that. So I got a couple of these as well for helping hold my stitches when I do my next sock tube. But that is all of the acquisitions that I have today. Okay, let's talk about where you can find us. Starting June 17th, we have a trunk show at Silver Thread and Golden Needle in Franklin, North Carolina. The store will have my bags, stitch stoppers, and yarn koozies for a whole month, so they'll be there till July 17th. So if you're in the North Carolina area, or if that's an area that you want to visit, stop on by and check out the trunk show. She'll have my stuff there for a month. So that is the next place that you guys will, that I will be at. You can always find my stuff on the website at tammyshomesteadingcrafts.com. Whatever I have there will be available on there as well. Also on my website, it does tell you a couple of places that do carry my bags. So if you are in different areas, there's a couple of shops in the areas that do actually carry a small selection of my bags as well. But I do have trunk shows coming up for July and August. We'll talk about those ones on our next podcast because, you know, we're going to be at the Heartland Yarn Adventure in a couple of different states. So excited about that. And then, of course, we will be for the Great Tennessee Yarn Tour the whole month of August down in Tennessee as well. I personally will not be there, but my bags will be at the store. And that is my favorite store down there in Tennessee, and that is Clinch River Yarn Company, that you can always find my bags at there. They still carry some of my products in their store as well. Okay, I think that is it for today's podcast, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around, liking, subscribing, and commenting on my videos. Again, if you guys have not subscribed, consider doing so. It does benefit me by subscribing, and it costs you nothing to subscribe to a YouTuber's channel. Okay, thank you so much. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.